Hi, hello. So I have finished this effect of lines. In fact, these look like sea waves, right? So they're interesting. In the back they have also the effect. In fact, it is very funny, but in the back it is almost more visible than in the front, but it is always visible. It is a question of light, you know. The light sometimes can give another perspective to the work. Anyway, it is interesting and it is beautiful. I hope you can enjoy and use these effects. Now I have already made, so I have used the same knot here, the same flower knot, the flower knot that we have been made here also. And now I have put here some usual square knots, and this is the effect that we are going to see now. Now this effect is impressive, right? So it has a mountain here, a mountain here, a valley, and a valley, and the valley I'll have to do it now in this side. So what is this effect? This effect actually is the mixing of these lines with these triangular effects. So these are the triangular effects that we have begun to make, the first. And now I'm going to mix these effects, the triangular effects, with this. So in here we just pass from the knots to this side and to this directly, to the knots to that side directly, and we have here only one division that is actually makes a fold, a very precise fold. And now, as in here, we are going to introduce a more complex effect. So we have the triangle, and now we have the fold is here. Fold is here, take a good look. It's here and it's here. But then we have a mountain, and then we have another fold. This gives an extraordinary effect, right? It's unbelievable. Just playing with the direction of the knots and take a good look how impressive a work can be. Now I hope you understand that this belt is just an excuse. It's just an excuse for me to share these effects, because if it was a real belt we have to pay attention where we have the effects. For instance, this effect is too small. When the belt come around, it will cover it, so it will cover this effect. So in order to have this effect we have to make the effect much longer. But in here is, as I tell you, I'm just using this for making an exemplification of effects. And here is the same. We must be very careful to know exactly where this effect is in the belly, in the round belly, so we have to know exactly, so to make the same to the other side. So there is one point that it is the middle, and then we have to make the effects exactly the same to the other side. But because here I'm just demonstrating techniques, I cannot consider that. So I'm telling you, if you are starting to make it, you have to think about these details. Alright, let's try to make this. I have to close. Have to close the belt. So I have already put the belt higher so you can see the work. Now in here we have to be very careful. So we have one knot to this side in order to make a valley like that one. So we have these knots to this side. In order to make a valley, we have to make the knots to the other side. Alright, let's begin. So this one first. This one first. This effect is the most sophisticated of all, right? It is a mixing of the two effects. But actually, it is the more beautiful. It's a marvelous effect. When I look at it, I marvel because how it is possible to do an effect like this. So here we have one knot to one side and the other knot to the other side. These will make the valley. Now the valley is an effect that has a great usefulness. It has a contrast. It makes a fold, a very obvious fold. And actually this is much more important than the mountain effect. Although of course, if we know and we start to think in creative ways to use the two together, we will achieve marvelous results. I was trying to do, and here we cannot, here we must be always concentrated. Small mistake here. This is collapsing. Collapsing, I give it a strong pull, right? Alright, let me see if I can fix it. Alright. I did something much more higher. Oh, I can pull it a little. Alright, so let's try to work it out. So we were doing these knots to this side. Alright, so let's try. Let's try to keep concentration. It's very important to keep concentration. So here we are. Right. Of course, that if I wanted to do a belt, this one is the effect of choice, of course. This is such an amazing, it has an amazing power. It is really impressive. And so easy, right? So simple. And perhaps there are more effects that I'm not seeing right now, but I'll keep an eye on them, and if I find something of worthy, I will put them here for us. But this one, I think that this one is the top effect of this technique. Just technique is almost nothing. Just the heads of the square knots to one side and the heads of the square knots to the other side. And with proper order, if we can introduce an order and perfect order and symmetry, geometrical symmetry, we have this amazing effect. Outstanding. Okay, so we have introduced here. I have only 5 minutes. So I have 10 minutes more 5. Okay, so here we have our effect. Always make sure that they are perfect. Alright, now we have to think about it. Now we are going to make the triangle of this side, and then we make this line to this side. So we have to be very careful. Wait a second. So we have these ones here, these ones here. This is confusing. I tell you that this is confusing. So in order to make it, wait a second. So I have a value here. It's very confusing now. So I have a valley. Then I have a mountain. So these ones are to that side, these ones are to this side. I've made a continuation of this one here, so I have to make the continuation of this one here. And now, in order to come, I think these two knots are already wrong, because I want it to come here. Of course. So these are wrong. I hope I'm not saying anything wrong here. But this is confusing. Actually, to make this effect to stay extremely perfect, it's not easy. There are too much things to take in consideration. Let me try to see if I can express it well so that everyone can understand what's going on here, what's in stake. So these ones are going to make this triangle, but in here, because I have these ones here, they have to come to here. So this one is to that side, I have to make it already to that side in order to make a continuation. I think that it is exactly as I am saying. Let me find it out. Of course, that triangle does not go till the end. So I was already making wrong. Take a good notice. This triangle does not go to the end. The end is another completely different, because it's the one that makes the design. So this one has to be the same. Let's find it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in here we have to have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it exactly? This triangle is only a 5. So let's come to the beginning and try not to confuse ourselves. Not to confuse ourselves, now I'm going to make the entire triangle. And then it is clear what I have to do. So this is to that side. Alright. This is not easy. I mean, it is easy, but one has to be extremely careful, or else if we miss a slight thing, the effect will not come out. And that is a really pity, right? Let's find it out. So I'm going to make the triangle, the entire triangle. And when we have the triangle, we will not confuse ourselves so easily. I hope. So I have 10 minutes, more one. Alright. Not going to be able to do the entire effect. Obviously, this is a much complex effect. I can make it already here. I hope you are enjoying this. This effect with the mountain and the valley, it is much more evident than the other effects, right? The other effects were visible, but they are subtle. But this one makes a so strong contrast that we see it immediately, right? That is perhaps, I think that this one is the strongest one. This time I don't have this stabilized properly. Next time I have to have it already. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in here is the end of the triangle. I have to make it all. In 9 minutes. Well, maybe I can still make it. If everything goes well, if I don't miss anything. Another thing that it is important is a macrame artist cannot be in a hurry. That's right. To be in a hurry to finish the work is always a recipe to make it wrong. So this one has to be enjoying the work. Enjoying the work, doing it slowly by slowly. In its own time. So there is no hurry here. Although of course with these things of the videos, it will be extremely important to finish the entire effect, right? Okay. I think this is the last one from the triangle. 7 minutes. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. All right, so far so good. So in here this knot is already outside of the triangle, so it is to this side, while in the triangle is to that side, so now I have to put it here. Right. Right. Well, anyway, if I cannot get to the end, you have already understood the technique, because it is simple. Simple technique. Right. More important is not to miss anything, and to keep the work the more perfect as we can. 4 minutes. I think it is still possible. I don't finish it. I have almost finished. So this one first. Alright. Alright, so we have finished our valley, and now we have only to do this one, that to make a mountain is to put head to head. So to put head to head is to make to that side. 3 minutes. I think I can finish it if I don't collapse this. Alright, let me find it out. Alright. And that's it. It's just this row, and this row finishes this effect, this wonderful effect. And actually is this mountain that is going to lift and make the valley more pronounced. So it is this combination that makes everything work. That's right. And this is I don't know what do I call it. This is real magic work. I think that this is the real magic. Right? Yeah, real magic. So far so good. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and I have to make 3 knots, I think. So it's half to which one. Alright. Ooh. I'm putting my feet on the strings. That's bad. Wait. Here we are. So I have to say goodbye already. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. This is extremely gratifying, and I hope you can make excellent works with this effect. So 5-3 seconds, and it is done. Of course there is still a valley to do, but that valley is already the other triangle. So here we have it. It's outstanding, right? Outstanding. All right. So I was able to do it. You see here, this valley, when it has a valley here, will give it more force, but that will stay to the next video.